Hello, welcome back. I had to take a break. I didn't want the video to be too long, and so actually Dedrick told me, that's my husband, he didn't want the videos to be like really pushing 12 minutes, and I know I've pushed it to the limit sometimes, and so I wanted to continue the topic of dealing with one parent in the home, and I didn't want to do it and have it for next week. I wanted to get it in tonight because, again, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And so if in fact you didn't see the first video dealing with this, why don't you stop here and go back to the first one and check that one out and then come back and see me. So again, thank you for tuning in to Amina's Moment. So excited about the things that God is doing for us and the doors He's opening, the ways He's making. And we are just elated that you are here with us tonight, that you are taking the time to view this. So if you like what you see, go ahead and post a comment. Let me know what you like. And if you don't like it, I want to see those comments too. I do know how to take criticism. But I want to thank you again and let you know that I'm not here to give you advice, but I am here to give you pieces of information and those little ingredients that you can create your own recipe for success so that you can be the person that you desire to be. And those of you all that have a spiritual relationship with God, that you can be the individual and the person that God has called you to be. And so you shouldn't settle for less. Go ahead and reach for those things that are great and make your life great, because it's all up to you. So sticking with that, I'm going to go back to my notes here. And I know that there are some of you, again, who may be living in a single parent home that you feel like you're missing out on something. And I've talked to some young men who feel like their dad was not in the home, and so they felt as though they had to be the man of the house. And so they took on these roles that were beyond their years. And in my heart, I think, wow, what an advancement they have. Yeah, they may not have that immediate role model that's there, but they're learning so much. So if you are a young man whose father is not in the home, don't take that as a negative thing. Take that as, I'm learning what to do, and then I'm also learning what not to do. And young ladies, if your mom is not in the home, and again, this is not about gender to gender or anything like that. These are just some examples. If your mom is not in the home and you find that you are having to be the caretaker of your younger siblings, and you find that you're doing most of the cooking and cleaning and just all of the things that typically a parent would do, don't look at that as a bad thing. Look at that as you're getting some advanced experience so that when you do become that woman one day, that you can say, oh, I know how to do this. I've already learned how to do this. So now I can be better at what I do. Again, be aware of your surroundings, but don't let them mold you. You take those things that are good and you reject those things that are bad. I'm telling you, I had a situation where I went to visit my brother one time. He was incarcerated at the time, and he and the person that I was there with, we were visiting, and they kind of got into a little spat. So what did Aamina do? Aamina asked for the keys to the car. Aamina said, I'm leaving. I was not going to take it. At some point, we need to stand up and say, I am not going to accept negativity. Now, am I saying you need to leave your house if somebody's arguing? No, I am not. Am I saying that you need to walk out of a situation that you know you should not be leaving? Absolutely not. Don't put yourself in awkward positions and dangerous positions just because you think that, well, I don't need this negativity. No, not that. At that moment, I realized that I didn't want to be around arguing. Sometimes you can't even control that. But I tell you one thing you can control. You can control how you allow that to affect you. Don't harbor that stuff in. Sometimes you got to reject some of this negativity. And I'm telling you, if somebody doesn't have anything good to say to you, well, you do whatever you got to do. But at some point, you need to tune out some of the negativity. Because I'm sure you all have remote controls at home. And so when you see something on TV you don't like, what do? You change the channel. At some point, you got to change the channel in some of your lives and in some of the things that you allow to go in and stay. Because if someone is saying that you're not going to do this because your parent wasn't there, or you're going to be this way because your parent wasn't there, you can sit there and listen to it and be respectful, but you don't have to internalize it. You don't have to make that your reality. You make your reality the thing that you have in your mind that you dream to be, that person that you dream to be. That's what it's all about. I love, love, love this topic. Okay. However, so I'm going to actually come to a close in a sense, but I have something that I wrote and I want to read this to you. I encourage all of you, whether you live with one parent in the home or none, whether your parents have been positive role models or not, don't turn to a promiscuous lifestyle. And I mispronounced that word. My mother would get me if she knew that. Promiscuous lifestyle, and sleep around just because your parents did it. Don't turn to cigarettes or other drugs or even alcohol just because your parents did it. Don't limit yourself educationally just because your parents did it. Don't settle for an average 9-to-5 job just because your parents did it. Do the opposite. Save your body for marriage just because you want to do better than your parents. Stay away from drugs. Stay away from alcohol because you want to keep your body healthy and not have addictions. Get an advanced degree. Don't just slide by in high school just because your parents stopped and they didn't go to college. Start a career. Don't have just a job because you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck just like your parents did. You are special. You were made for success, and you deserve a life that is more than average. Be great in all you do, regardless of who is there or not. You are in control of your destiny and your final destination in life. Make it a great destination. Do not do things, do not make decisions that you are not going to be proud of in the future or even now. And so I encourage you, if mom or dad, if they're not there, that is okay, because you can be great in the midst of them not being there. You can be a great individual. You can be the first person in your family to have a master's or PhD degree, and you're actually moving on and being a very, very great additive to this community or whatever community you live in. You can be great. So again, do not allow the absence or presence of someone determine where you go in life. You have the keys to this. You open that door of opportunity and you walk through it. I thank you for tuning in tonight to Amina's Moment. I cannot wait to see you next week. Please, please, please share this with somebody that you know, and we will see you again. Have a great night.